All right, man, let's talk about the Lions, man. And I ain't gonna lie, man, I wanted to do this video. So check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist, thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. You know, I gotta keep it Lions groovy. I gotta keep it groovy for the Lions, bro. You know, just a little bit on the channel. I know Piston dominate right now. I didn't really cover the draft like that this year. I just don't watch college football like that, but I like what they done this season. The more I sit back, I like where they at this season. I just want to give an overcap of why I like the Lions going into 2026 season. I like the fact that the first thing I like is that they making changes to the offseason. You know, they making the right changes, not to put as much wear and tear. They're not doing joint practices. It took them 5 seasons to realize they had a problem. Now, did their success come fast? Yeah. You know why? And I say this all the time. You know why their success didn't come faster? You want to know why they haven't won a Super Bowl right now? They had enough teams. They had enough good teams so far to win the Super Bowl, to lose one and win one. But the deciding factor in them not winning a Super Bowl, to be honest with y'all, was just injuries. That's it. It was injuries. Throughout the whole year one, they hitched their wagon to Amon-Ra St. Brown, figuring it out at receiver, and Tyrell Williams. Tyrell Williams goes down in the first few snaps. Didn't see him again. Don't forget that season, Jared Goff got hurt, which was a blessing in disguise. And let me explain this. Tim Boyle is the one that got Amon-Ra St. Brown integrated into the offense. Amon-Ra St. Brown only took off when Tim Boyle got in there. And when Tim Boyle and him formed a connection, he's never looked back since. You know, so they had a lot of injuries throughout that season. They'll with Josh Reynolds. They finally get their first win. They give Jared Goff a target. They get their first win. Don't forget that season too. Panisa Will had to start at left tackle. Taylor Decker missed the first 8 games or something like that. So it was just, year one was injury. Year 2, they did a good job. They got DJ Shark. I still believe outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Shark was Jared Goff's best target, and Josh Reynolds was his best target in Detroit. The way they formed a connection, and that season when they started off 1-7, 1-8, whatever it was, and the turning point in that season was losing to Minnesota, and they came back, and the dude from Detroit caught the touchdown to beat them, and they came back, and they was 1-7, 1-8, and y'all talking about firing Dan Campbell. My thing was like, who the hell you gonna get? He turned it around that season. They won in Green Bay. Why was they behind the 8 ball that season? They had a host of injuries in the offseason. Josh Pascal came in that year, the 2nd round pick. He came in injured. He was injured when they picked him. Levon Zerike was out that host. It was injuries. DJ Shark went down. Him and Goff was hot as fish grease. He went down. I think St. Brown got injured in that Minnesota game. I mean, injuries. And when they got healthy around mid-season, they lost to the Bills because the kicker, Michael Badgley, missed a kick in Thanksgiving. And that's what reason Buffalo really won that game. I don't forget some shit. That shit I don't forget. And then they went on the run after that. They got tore up by Carolina, couldn't stop the run. You know, ended with Green Bay. Injuries have been big. It took them 5 seasons to make the adjustment. That's why they haven't won a Super Bowl. But I like this year that they making the adjustments to their practice habits, to what they doing stuff. People say, well, I think CJ, it's the strength and conditioning. And no. They are getting broken up pieces. They're getting injury prone players. You know, they practicing, you know, they doing bad. And now they're going to be fresher. I like what they did in free agency. Wasn't sexy, wasn't expensive. I like what they did with the offensive coordinator. I like Calvin Shepard going to year 2. I feel like he had a great year 1. It's injuries. I just really want to know, what did y'all think that Calvin Shepard was going to do with all them injuries? Y'all, we got no pass rush. We ain't got this. But y'all want him to make miracles. What else did you want him to do? I think he had a great year 1 calling defense. Year 2, with more experience, everybody's not going to be a savant year 1. Y'all loved them, then y'all hated them because of the injuries. I like what Drew Petzing. I like it. I liked it once I did I like it. You know, I like it. I think they had a wonderful offseason. I like them going into the season with the worst place, even if they had the number 1 schedule. I like them going into this. I like what they've done. I like what they done. Tyler Conklin, Sam Laporta. I like the kid they got from Miller. They got him from Clemson. Guess what? Durability. He's durable. Who did they get in the second round? Kid from Michigan. Even if he a pass rushing specialist, we'll figure it out. We figure the rest out. We need somebody on third down or long downs that can close the gap. We got that. The right tackle, you get a center. The center ain't the best run blocker, but guess what? You got two guys that's strong in the middle, Tate, Mahogany. Two tackles that's beast at run blocking, Miller, Swift. Fuck it. Like it. You get an offensive coordinator that can go heavy, that can go spread. You get a guy that's dealt with a quarterback, the black Jared Goff and Jacoby Brissett. He's dealt with an offset quarterback, an unorthodox quarterback, not from a lefty righty, but a guy that's been, that's just been doing, that's difficult to, beat, coach because his height and Kyler Murray, so they're going to get behind them big uglies, run downhill. They're going to do play action, a guy that call plays. I like what they did. I don't want to say it too loud, bro, but I like how they moving, bro. I like how they moving this season, dog. Campbell. People talking about the Campbell pick. Inside linebackers are hard to find, bro. Take 2 or 3 years to develop. Now he the best inside linebacker right now in the league until Fred Warner get it back together. But hey, he the best right now. Tyleik Williams, you need him to take another step. Tesla, you need him to take another step. You hope they take the next step this year. Terrion, Ennis, Rackstraw, hopefully they figure it out. They get the corner out there, McCrary from the Rams who could play nickel. You get that nickel / safety that could play nickel or safety from the Bucks. You hopefully Branch and Kirby on track. If not, hey, we got some guys that can play that. You get that kid from Arizona State that seemed to be a tough nickel. I like what they did. I like a lot what they did. So they hitching their wagon to Tyleik Williams. They hitching their wagon. Hopefully Aleem McNeil bounce back. Aiden Hutchinson, second year removed from the injury. DJ Wanham. Morgan. You get the 6th round pick last year from Boise State. I like what they defensively they doing. If they can stay healthy, they might play a little preseason. They might not. I like them coming into this year if they're healthy. Hopefully Petson can get them on board. JMO and Goff on board. Pretty sure he gonna, Sam Laporta back to get that chili. He trying to get paid. He trying to get to the chili, and I ain't talking about the chili at Wendy's. So, hey man, I like what the Lions doing, man. They building. They making adjustments and building. And then they still can sign a guy like Cam Jordan, some of the veteran signings that Holmes was talking about. I mean, I like what they doing. Hopefully the kicker get back on track this year. Sophomore slumps happen, but I like what they doing. So I might be in the minority. Check out Detroit Lions Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the link in the description. The link tree say find me everywhere, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. Need to reach out. Peace.